Welcome to my YouTube channel, Soul Velocity. Today we're diving into a subject that can shift not just your morning, but your entire mindset. The title is Morning Rituals That Transform Your Entire Day. And I've broken this journey down into 10 powerful parts, each one designed to elevate your rhythm, shape your energy, and transform how you live. So buckle up. Let's begin with part one. The first hour, why your morning shapes your legacy. Let me start with the truth. Your morning is not just a part of your day. It's the commander of your mindset, the tone setter of your energy, and the foundation of your future. You want to change your life? Start with your first hour. Steve Harvey once said, if you wake up with no plan, you wake up into someone else's. Think about that. If you're not in charge of your morning, someone else is, whether it's your phone, your job, your stress, or your excuses. So here's what I want you to realize. The first 60 minutes after you wake up aren't about productivity. They're about alignment. They're not about doing more. They're about becoming more. Because how you begin anything, especially your day, decides how you carry everything. Let's stop right here. Ask yourself, what's the first thing I do every morning? Do I grab my phone? Do I scroll into someone else's life before I even touch mine? Do I run late? Do I let urgency override peace? If that's you, no shame. But it's time to upgrade, because your future doesn't start next year. It starts tomorrow morning. And your success isn't found in the big moments. It's buried inside the repetitive, invisible, often boring morning choices that stack into momentum. What made Steve Harvey different wasn't luck, it was intention. He didn't rise because he had the most time. He rose because he commanded the beginning of his day. He prayed, he wrote, he sat in silence. He spoke power into his own name before anyone else had a chance to name his worth. That's what this is about. This isn't a morning routine. It's a morning revolution. It's you choosing to start your day like it matters, because it does. It's you owning your energy before the world gets to shape it. It's you saying, before I respond to the noise, I will return to my voice. Say it with me. I start with intention. I build my first hour. I shape my energy. I command my life. This is not hype. This is your next level, wrapped inside your first 60 minutes. Don't underestimate it, because your future self is waiting at the end of 1,000 mornings you never wasted. Let's start building those mornings, one ritual at a time. Part two, the power of waking up early. How the first light creates clarity and purpose. Let's talk about something that separates the driven from the distracted. Something simple, something ancient, and yet something most people still underestimate. Waking up early. You see, it's not just about rising before the sun. It's about rising before the noise. Before the world grabs you. Before your obligations hijack your purpose. Before the notifications, the emails, the problems. Before your day becomes everyone else's. Steve Harvey didn't just wake up early because it sounded impressive. He did it because he knew that quiet is where purpose speaks the loudest. When you get up early, you step into a sacred space, untouched, uncluttered, unclaimed. It's yours. And in that stillness, you hear things you can't hear when you're rushed. You remember who you are. You connect with where you're going. You set the tone instead of reacting to someone else's. And let's be clear, it's not just about hours, it's about ownership. When you wake up early, you're telling your future, I'm not waiting for life to push me. I'm stepping into it before it calls. The early morning is a gate. And most people sleep through it. They sleep through the calm. They sleep through the clarity. They sleep through the call. But not you. You're gonna rise, not just because it's noble, but because it's necessary. You need time before the pressure. You need space before the speed. You need breath before battle. This is how the great ones win. Not with more talent, not with more luck, but with more quiet alignment at the top of their day. Steve Harvey said, you can't outwork someone who's already been up before you had your coffee. And he's right, because they're not chasing their day, they're commanding it. So let me ask you, what would 30 more minutes of stillness do for your soul? What would waking up early, not to grind, but to align, create in your spirit? You don't need to start with hours. Start with 10 minutes. 10 minutes before the noise, 10 minutes before the rush, 10 minutes to breathe, to pray, to stretch, to visualize. Say it with me. I wake up before the noise. I claim my morning. I listen to my clarity. I lead from stillness. You're not behind. You're just buried in someone else's chaos. It's time to get up and get free, because your dreams deserve mornings that belong to you. This is Soul Velocity, and this is how we rise. Ritual over routine. Why repetition with intention rewires the mind? Let's be honest. There's a difference between routine and ritual. One is robotic. The other is reverent. A routine is brushing your teeth. A ritual is aligning your spirit. A routine is just doing something over and over. But a ritual, that's repetition infused with meaning. Steve Harvey doesn't just follow routines. He follows rituals, because he knows this truth. The mind doesn't change by what you do once. It transforms by what you do often and intentionally. You can meditate every morning and still feel lost if your heart's not in it. You can journal for 30 days straight and not change a thing if you're just going through the motions. But when you slow down, when you pour your awareness into what you're doing, something sacred begins to happen. You stop checking boxes. You start opening doors. That's the difference. That's the shift. When your morning becomes a ritual, you're not just preparing your body, you're programming your beliefs. Think about it. When you sit quietly in the morning and speak gratitude into your breath, that's not fluff. That's rewiring scarcity into sufficiency. When you journal your goals with clarity, you're not wasting time. You're training your brain to expect direction. When you move your body, even just a stretch, you're waking your nervous system and telling your cells, we're alive today. Let's go. You want to change your day? Change how you enter it. Steve Harvey's mornings don't start with pressure. They start with presence. He doesn't just prepare his calendar, he prepares his character. So stop rushing through your routine. Start honoring your ritual. Make your habits holy. Make your repetition reflective. Make your morning sacred, even if it's only 20 minutes. Because what you do in repetition becomes who you are in identity. Say it with me. I don't just go through motions. I move with meaning. My rituals rewire my mindset. My mornings are sacred. Let others hustle through their mornings. You build soul-level momentum. That's soul velocity. That's how leaders rise. Part 4, the anchor habit, how one morning decision changes the rest of your day. You don't need 20 habits to transform your life. You need one habit that anchors the rest. Let me say that again. Not all habits are created equal. Some habits are cosmetic. Some habits are supportive. But one habit, the right habit, becomes an anchor. It holds you steady. It pulls everything else into alignment. It sets the tone for your mindset, your energy, your choices. Steve Harvey's anchor habit, gratitude. Every morning, before he checks his phone, before he checks his schedule, he checks in with gratitude. Because if your heart isn't right, your hustle won't matter. That's the power of the anchor. So what's an anchor habit look like? It's simple, repeatable, personal. And when you skip it, your day feels off. It might be prayer. It might be journaling. It might be 5 minutes of breath work. It might be a walk, a workout, a verse. It's not about what looks cool. It's about what locks you in. Here's how you know it's your anchor. It grounds you. It recenters you. It makes you feel like you. And once it's in place, everything else has a center to orbit around. Let me be real with you. Most people skip the anchor and wonder why they drift. They start their day reacting and wonder why they feel disconnected, but not you. You're gonna build your morning around your center. When Steve Harvey starts his day with gratitude, it doesn't just make him feel good, it reminds him who he is. That's what you need too, not hype, not hustle, just alignment. So pick your anchor, protect it, make it non-negotiable, and let that one decision carry your whole day. Say it with me. I start from my anchor. I build from my center. I choose alignment before activity. My habit holds my day. This is how mornings become power. This is how your day becomes consistent. This is soul velocity. Part 5, the sacred pause. Why you must start with stillness before you speak. Let me tell you something nobody's teaching loud enough. The best mornings don't start with motion. They start with stillness. You don't need to launch into your to-do list the moment your eyes open. You need to pause. Because that sacred pause, that quiet breath, that moment of still is where clarity lives. It's where the noise in your head starts to settle. It's where your real voice comes back. Steve Harvey, he starts every morning in silence. Not because it's fancy, because it's foundational. He gets still before he speaks, before he moves, before he leads. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. Most people wake up and sprint, but here's the thing. Speed without stillness is how you lose direction. It's like taking off in a car without checking your GPS. You might be moving fast, but fast in the wrong direction is still lost. Stillness isn't wasting time, it's aligning your soul. So before you dive into the day, pause, close your eyes, breathe, say a prayer, repeat a truth, sit in gratitude. Don't rush into movement before you reconnect to meaning. The world will try to convince you that the early bird gets the worm. But here at Soul Velocity, we believe the early soul gets the vision. And Steve Harvey's vision, it came in quiet. Before the jokes, before the lights, before the millions. In stillness, he heard who he was supposed to be. And that stillness gave his hustle direction. Say it with me. I don't start with motion. I start with meaning. I pause before I push. I lead with peace. You don't need another productivity hack. You need a presence habit. You need a sacred pause, because when you move from stillness, everything that follows has depth. This isn't slowing down. This is stepping into your power. Part 6, morning mindset mastery. Programming your thoughts before the world does. If you don't program your mind in the morning, the world will do it for you. Let that sit. Because from the moment you wake up, there's a battle for your attention. The news, the noise, the notifications, all fighting to define what kind of day you'll have. But when you master your morning mindset, you don't just take control of the day, you take control of your life. Steve Harvey said it best. If you wake up and you don't have a plan, you're part of someone else's. And that plan, that starts in your mind. You must speak truth before lies have a chance. You must install confidence before doubt gets in. You must direct your energy before anxiety hijacks it. This is mindset mastery, and it begins the moment your feet hit the floor. So how do you do it? Replace input with intention. Before you pick up your phone, pick up your power. Don't let someone else's voice speak into your life before your own. 2, speak your identity. Every morning, say out loud who you are becoming. I am focused. I am consistent. I am disciplined. I am favored. I am whole. The world can't define you if your soul already did. 3, visualize your outcome. Close your eyes and see yourself winning. Not someday, today. Feel it, taste it, align with it. That image will lead your actions. 4, guard your peace. Don't let chaos enter before you've grounded your spirit. Peace is not passive, it's protective. This is what Steve Harvey does. He creates his energy. He doesn't wait to feel good. He decides to feel grounded. Because when you master your thoughts, you master your results. Say it with me. I speak before the world speaks. I program my power. I direct my mind. I command my day. This is soul-level strategy. You're not just building a day, you're building a mental operating system, one thought at a time. And when your mornings start from mindset mastery, you become unshakable. Part 7, fueling the body, focusing the mind, nutrition and movement, that set the tone. Let me tell you what separates people who start strong from those who start scattered. It's not just mindset, it's what they do with their body. You can't think clearly if your energy is crashing. You can't lead boldly if your system is starving. You can't stay consistent if you're running on caffeine, chaos, and hope. Hey, Steve Harvey doesn't start his mornings by starving his system. He fuels it. And not with sugar, stress, or skipping breakfast. He treats his body like the vehicle of his vision. So here's what I need you to understand. Your brain runs on blood. Your decisions are powered by oxygen. Your mood is influenced by movement. Your body is not a distraction from your goals. It's the driver. So if you want to perform like the greats, you need to start moving like one. Here's the morning equation. Water before coffee, because hydration is clarity. Protein before sugar, because power needs substance. Movement before sitting, because motion fuels focus. And I'm not saying hit the gym for 2 hours. I'm saying move, stretch, walk, breathe deep, jump rope, do 10 push-ups. Just remind your body that it's alive. When Steve Harvey starts his day with movement, it's not about looking good. It's about feeling grounded. When he eats well in the morning, it's not about diets. It's about discipline. This is where most people lose the battle. They wake up already depleted. They skip breakfast, spike cortisol, and crash by 10 a.m. Then they wonder why they can't focus, why they feel anxious, why they're short-tempered. It's not mindset, it's biology. And if you master this early rhythm, if you move with intention and fuel with clarity, your mind sharpens, your focus intensifies, your energy expands. Say it with me. My body fuels my purpose. I move with power. I eat with intention. I start strong. This isn't about being a health freak. It's about being a mission freak. And every mission needs energy. Feed your system, move your vessel, set the tone, because your morning isn't just mental, it's physical. And when both align, you become unstoppable. Part 8, digital discipline. How to reclaim your focus from your phone. Let's get honest. Your phone is not just a tool, it's a portal. And if you're not careful, that portal becomes a leash. It pulls you into other people's agendas. It drags you into reactions. It breaks your focus before your focus even wakes up. That's why digital discipline isn't optional anymore. It's survival. Steve Harvey doesn't start his morning scrolling. He starts it owning his thoughts, owning his direction, owning his peace. Because once you open that phone, you've opened the floodgates. The news, the drama, the pressure, the distraction, and all of a sudden, your morning, your sacred space doesn't belong to you anymore. But here's the good news. You can reclaim it. You can take back your brain. You can tell your phone who's in charge. This is how legends stay focused. Not by being perfect, but by being intentional. Let's break it down. 1, delay the scroll. Make it a rule. No social media for the first 30, 60 minutes of the day. Give your own mind a chance to speak before you invite the world in. 2, clear the clutter. Turn off non-essential notifications. Set your home screen to black and white. Uninstall apps that pull without purpose. 3, design your digital space. Use apps that serve your mindset. Meditation, journaling, affirmations, not ones that steal your time and sell your focus. 4, create a first touch ritual. If you must check your phone, make the first thing you touch something intentional. A gratitude note, a voice memo to self, a devotional app. Steve Harvey's not anti-technology. He's pro-ownership. He knows his mind is his most valuable asset, so he guards it like a millionaire guards his money. And so should you. Say it with me. I control my attention. I delay distraction. I reclaim my peace. I move with purpose. Your phone doesn't have to be the enemy, but it can't be the master. Build your digital discipline, and you'll rebuild your clarity, confidence, and calm. That's soul velocity. That's real leadership. That's the kind of focus that lasts. Part 9, the power of purposeful words. Speaking life over your day. Your words are not just sounds. They are spiritual blueprints. When you speak, you build. When you speak, you activate. When you speak, you send instructions to your mind, your body, your spirit. And if the first thing you speak in the morning is complaint, fear, or doubt, that's the house you're living in all day. But if the first thing you speak is life, power, and vision, then you've wired your atmosphere to respond to victory. Steve Harvey doesn't leave his morning voice to chance. He speaks on purpose. He declares favor. He speaks gratitude. He speaks direction over his day before the day even begins. Why? Because he knows the world will try to speak for him if he doesn't speak first. Let me make this clear. Your words are your weapons. Not just against external challenges, but against internal chaos. You don't have to feel confident to speak confidence. You don't have to feel strong to say, I am strong. You don't have to feel ready to say, I'm prepared. Speak it until you see it, because speaking creates seeing. Here's what I want you to do. 1, write 3 declarations that align with your mission. Keep them short, keep them true. Example, I am grounded, I am prepared, I am favored. 2, speak them out loud every morning. Even if your voice shakes, the vibration of your own voice echoes deeper than silent thought. 3, speak it again when resistance rises. When the pressure comes, don't shut down, speak up. When Steve Harvey built his career, he didn't just work, he spoke over his work. He declared where he was headed long before anyone else saw it. That's what you do now. You don't just live life, you speak it into alignment. Say it with me, I speak power, I speak peace, I speak clarity. My words are seeds and I sow truth. You are the architect of your atmosphere, and your voice is the tool. Use it, lead with it, shape your morning with purposeful words, because your day doesn't start with action, it starts with activation. Part 10, legacy mornings, turning ritual into a lifestyle that outlives you. You didn't come this far to master mornings, you came this far to master meaning. Because once a ritual becomes your rhythm, it becomes your legacy. Let me be real with you. You can read every book, you can journal every day, you can meditate, stretch, eat clean, affirm truth. But if your morning ends at 10 a.m., you've missed the purpose. Steve Harvey doesn't build routines just to survive the day. He builds them to shape a life worth repeating, because habits become legacy when they outlive urgency. The ultimate goal of a powerful morning, it's not productivity, it's identity that can't be broken. It's presence that doesn't collapse under pressure. It's vision that doesn't die when life gets messy. Let's go deeper. When your morning becomes sacred, your life becomes solid. You stop chasing motivation. You start moving from conviction. You stop reacting to struggle. You start responding from center, because now you are the morning. You carry the peace. You walk in the clarity. You embody the discipline. Steve Harvey's mornings are not just built on tools, they're built on truths. That you are the architect of your energy, that you don't need the world to validate what God already declared, that your habits are holy and your voice is sacred. So what does a legacy morning look like? It's not perfect, it's practice. It's not robotic, it's rhythmic. It's not hype, it's healing. And the people around you will feel it. Your kids will notice, your spouse will feel it, your work will reflect it, your silence will carry it. That's what Soul Velocity is about. Not hype, honor, not noise, knowing, not routines, rituals that birth leaders. So as you rise tomorrow, don't just check boxes. Don't just journal and forget. Don't just pray without presence. Own it, feel it, let it shape you. Because the person who rises with power, who guards their soul before their phone, who speaks life before the news speaks fear, that person doesn't just have a strong day, they build a strong life. Say it with me, one last time. I rise with honor. I lead with stillness. I move with purpose. My morning is my message. And remember, your discipline decides your destiny. This ain't just about motivation. This is about becoming who you were born to be. So keep building, keep showing up, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless you, and keep rising.